They say you can't miss what you never had, that if you've never known a thing, never touched it, smelled it, loved it, its absence shouldn't ache, but absence, as I learned, has its own shape. A negative space that still takes up room. I was born 20-something years ago, not in a hospital room with family gathered around. Not in warmth. Not into waiting arms. I was found in an alley.no name.no note.no blanket. It was winter. A passerby heard what they thought was a cat. It wasn't. That's how I entered the world, half frozen, alone, and discarded behind a row of dumpsters like yesterday's trash. A story that made a few inches of column space in a local newspaper. Infant found in back alley. Authorities seek information. No one came forward. No parents. No explanation. And yet, somehow, that wasn't the end of my story. I was adopted, and not just adopted, but wanted, chosen. My parents weren't saints, but they were the kind of people who showed up. Who did the work. Who loved loudly, generously, and without conditions. They told me the truth, in pieces, as I got older. They never let it define me. Never let it make me other. I was never the adopted kid. I was just their kid. I had siblings, all biological to each other, but it never mattered. We were a unit. I had a mom who sang to me when I was sick and a dad who taught me to ride a bike and how to fix a sink, and I was happy. But some things remain unanswered. My medical history was a question mark, and when my fiancé and I started talking about kids, real, actual, tiny humans with our DNA, that missing piece began to matter more than it ever had. So I did what a lot of people do these days. I bought a DNA kit. 23andMe, spit in a tube. Simple enough, right? Only. I screwed up. I checked the wrong box, said yes to relative matches without thinking. I only wanted health data. I didn't want a reunion. I didn't want them. But by the time I realized my mistake, it was too late. A message came through. Then another. Two people, strangers at first, saying we were siblings, biological, older. They knew who I was. Or at least who I had been. They said I was the baby. The one who vanished, the secret. 5 kids. My birth parents had 5 kids before me, and according to these 2, they always regretted giving me up. Regret. That's what they said, that it was guilt. That they were scared to come forward after abandoning me. They claimed they wanted me, but couldn't face the consequences. So they chose silence. My birth siblings, they wanted to talk. To explain. To reconnect. They said I had a right to hear it all. But I didn't want that story. I didn't want to make space for the people who left me behind a dumpster. I told them I wasn't interested, tried to be polite at first. I said, I understand you might need closure, but I'm not seeking a reunion. They didn't like that. The shift was subtle at first, a guilt trip here, a comment there, but when I made it crystal clear that I didn't want to hear from my birth parents, they turned on me. Suddenly I was ungrateful, cold, selfish. They bombarded me with messages. Don't you want to know the people who made you? You're not just some half-sibling, you're the baby we lost. You owe our parents a chance. I owed nothing. Still, they kept pushing. They told me I was being cruel, that our mother cried about me, that she'd prayed every day I'd find my way back. They talked about her like she was the victim, like she hadn't left me on the ground to die. And that's what gets me, the rewriting of history, this narrative where I was loved, just too inconvenient to save. I was supposed to feel bad, for her, for them. But I don't. They weren't the ones who picked me up off the freezing pavement, they weren't the ones who fed me, rocked me, worried when I had a fever, clapped at my kindergarten graduation. That was my family, the real one. After nearly 3 months of this, message after message, different accounts, different tactics, I snapped. They wouldn't stop. Every time I blocked one, 2 more popped up, like roaches in the walls. So I told them. I said, fuck off. Leave me alone. I don't care about your stupid fucking parents. And I meant it. I don't owe them a soft landing, I don't owe them grace, they weren't there when it counted. And I'm not interested in giving them the ending they want just to feel better about themselves. After that, it exploded. They lost it, told me their mom didn't deserve to be spoken about like that, told me I was the cruel one, that I was punishing people who only wanted to love me. But they weren't trying to love me, they were trying to love the idea of me, the redemption arc, the lost baby come home. And I don't exist to heal their guilt. I deleted my social media, shut it all down, because there are some doors you don't need to open, even if you find out what's on the other side. Some absences are better left untouched. I don't know what medical conditions run in my bloodline, maybe I never will. That's the price, I guess. But what I do know, without question, is that I was not unloved, I was not unlucky. I was given a second chance, a real one, and I'm not wasting it trying to justify why I won't embrace the people who once threw me away. I'm not the baby anymore. I'm a man, I'm engaged, I'm planning a future, and I know exactly who my family is. Sometimes, it's not about blood, it's about who shows up, who stays, who holds you when the world lets go. And them? They let go before I could even cry.